Okay, Thursday, 5th of August 2026, Adrian's daily vlog, sharing smart stuff men should know. We are disciplined traders. It's quality of trades, not quantity of trades. Now, this is something very important that I picked up in, we could say, November 2014 when I started getting into forex trading. And there was an interesting mantra that I remember being explained to me, was that it's the quality of trades, not quantity of trades, that matters. And we are disciplined investors, or in this context, traders, we could say, in that context back then. But that mantra, that principle, has rung true over the decade and a half almost. Quality of trades, not quantity of trades. Now, Warren Buffett talked about in your entire life, if you have a scorecard of 20 possible trades, you're going to be thinking extremely careful about what you do, what trade or investment or what allocation you make, where, when, why, how, and beyond. All those kind of nice, interesting questions. Because I've been contemplating a particular allocation since November 2024 up until recently, you could say, July, recently in 2026, and the conclusion ultimately was no. I was looking at this particular allocation. The thing itself is immaterial for this video, but from many different angles, many different opportunity costs of capital and opportunity cost in general, and many different black box risk factors, solvency and third party risk, all sorts of behind the scenes risk factors that ought to be considered with regard to handling money. And the conclusion ultimately was no, and for many different reasons that are beyond this video, but the point still stood. That was a disciplined allocation. It was a quality trade, not a quantity of trade, not in and out, shaking all about. No, it was, do I make this move, yes or no? And in spite of what could have been made over that time, that year and a half, because it's the risk we could argue, that's slightly more important than the reward, meaning we don't want to go down. We want to go up by all means, but we don't want to go down. This is more important with regards to money and making trades and investments, allocations. So actually, what Warren Buffett said. Warren Buffett said with regards to the first rule of money is not to lose money, and the second rule is refer back to number one. So we want to look at the downside risk in everything, and that calculation is the quality of trades. That year and a half of thinking, planning, pondering, imagining, strategizing, risk factoring, all that's important. Those right there are priceless life lessons that will be taken into the future in decades from now, that will be applied there as well, that will help me make other mistakes or potential mistakes decades from now as well. Very important, very important. We want to be conscious of this with what we do with our money and time and life and whatever else. It's the quality of actions, quality of trades, quality of allocations. I did a video a year or something ago saying that time is our most valuable asset. We want to squeeze as much out of it as possible. Therefore, we could say, by logical extension, money is an important asset. We want to allocate it as best as possible, get as much out of it as possible, not to risk wasting it. No risk exposure of it being frivolously thrown away, chucked into the wind, things like that. Very important. It's the quality of trades, not the quantity of trades, and the discipline that matters. Likewise, going into the future, I'm planning and preparing the groundwork and watching what happens in the market here and there and here for potential trades that I may or may not make in, say, 2029, 2030, 2031, 2032, 2036, things like that. Thinking, planning and pondering and looking at what's happening comparing it and reconciling it with principles and first principles of money and investing and allocating, things like that. For example, things have to be boring. I did a video about that a month or something ago, about these assets and these investments have to be boring in a sense of they are mundane, they just work, and we have to have the discipline to recognize and find those and appreciate those and figure out what to allocate to those, because it's the longevity that matters as well. We could say the downside matters number one, and then we could say the upside, longevity is number two. Where does it go from here? That's important. That's secondary to not losing. Very important. Again, we have a theoretical scorecard of 20 actions. We have to be damn careful what we decide to do, and inversely what not to do as well in life. Because understand also that there's opportunity cost to everything we do. I'm recording this video when I could be doing something else, and vice versa. Likewise, there's opportunity cost of money. There's these two assets, these two investments that produce cash. One goes to 100,000, one goes to 200,000. So by choosing A over B, I'm losing over 100,000 over a period of time. Recognizing that it's almost fourth dimensional, really. It's time. It's recognizing that difference, recognizing the opportunity cost is profound. And I could go into much deeper logic behind that and one or two stories here and there, but that's way off topic. But that's important to understand with regards to decision making. It's the quality of decisions in life we make, the quality of decisions and trades in money, in allocation and investing and whatever else that we make. Quality trades. We are disciplined investors, we are disciplined traders. It's the quality of trades that matter, not the quantity of trades. Very important. Very, very important. That's what I noticed actually. In 2023, I went like an entire year by making one single trade, and that trade went really in my favor. But wow, the entire year sat on the sidelines and only did one thing after a lot of thinking, and that was a trade that lasted about, say, I can't remember, 4, 5, 6 months. Yes, something like that. I remember it quite well. Yeah, I remember unwinding it on New Year's Eve, 2023-4. I'm quite confident. No, I'm very, very sure. I did a video on that day as well on the vlog. Yes, I was in Wales. So yeah, I remember. But nonetheless, quality of trades, not quantity of trades. Very important. Yeah. But otherwise, Adrian's daily vlog, sharing smart stuff men should know. Subscribe for more, and you will see me tomorrow.